Hello, you guys. My name is Christopher Kidd, co-host and producer of the Real Spill podcast. Just want to say thank you guys for tuning in every week, listening, and also on YouTube. We're bringing that out. Appreciate the support on there as well. Today on the Real Spill, NFL news. Odell Beckham feels like this is going to be his best year. And also we're going to talk a little bit about Draymond Green saying LeBron James has built the super team and he started it. Stay tuned, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of The Real Spill. I want to thank you guys for listening each and every week. We appreciate it. Love and support is growing. We thank you guys. Really appreciate the love and support out here we're getting for this podcast. Big things coming soon. All right. This is brought to you by Watts Basketball. That is wattsbasketball.com. Game Changers for Life. We also have a special guest in here who can, touch on the Game Changers for Life aspect as he graduated from Yale University. This man doesn't really need an introduction, but AJ, man, go ahead and speak on the mic.
How we doing? Happy to be here.
Before we get started, let's make sure everybody knows that you're on probation on this show. Right? You almost got your walking papers last show for asking some weird questions and making some weird suggestions. So you be careful over there across the booth. I'm feeling like LeBron James is today. You might have a new general manager.
Oh my goodness!
Come on now.
Here he go. That you know who that is, ladies and gentlemen. That is, I will not say legendary. That's how I'm look at me. We're just gonna say Donald Watts is in the house. What's up, D?
Oh man, I'm here. Like I said,
we know you here.
Just be careful over there. I got my LeBron hat on.
You see how Watts do me?
If you don't act right, we can get you up out of here. I can talk to the sponsor. Say, hey man, we don't like the moves he made. Nah, man, I'm good. It's good to be here. I'm excited. You got that Cleveland Cavaliers hat. I'm not even gonna look at you today. Everything's in turmoil over there in Cleveland.
Okay, you know what? I want to give a congratulations to Jay-Z, okay? He's the first rapper to ever be inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. So let's give a round of applause to that man, Jay-Z.
Hove.
I'll clap for that.
They call me H to the OV.
There we go. Donald's right on point with it. There we go. But again, this is another episode of the Real Spill podcast. We thank you guys again for listening. We appreciate it. Hoop Fest is coming this weekend, and Donald will be out there taking on the what? The Bulldogs.
Yeah.
What's in store, man? I know your son.
We got a Gonzaga UW alumni game.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I'm having to fire a lot of people, man. My son's going over there playing on the 3-on-3, but he's going to have to figure out how he's going to get there because he predicted Gonzaga would beat the Huskies. So
that's something you don't do.
Oh man, he's gonna stick his foot in his mouth. No, we're excited, man. Last year, Matt Santangelo put on a great event, the Gonzaga alumni game, when we were over there, and I talked to him about, hey man, we used to play against each other every year in college. Gonzaga and the University of Washington had a rivalry that kind of changed during the Lorenzo Romo years. It started back up, and it's not much of a rivalry because we as the University of Washington, we got our butt kicked this year. So now it's the old dogs got to go over there and get a little revenge and let them know this thing is competitive. I know Gonzaga's been to the tournament for 17, 18 years in a row. This year they went to the Final Four. Like, kudos to them, for that. I'm not going to say I wish I played in their league because I don't wish I played in their league, but because they play in their league, and they're a great program, they've established themselves as a great program, that 17 to 18-year-old run is a little bit easier to do than it would be in the Pac-12. So there it is. There it was. We got to go over here and handle our business. Hoop Fest 2017. We are coming for you.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are going to be out there and get a chance to enjoy that game. It should be filled with excitement as there's going to be alumni there duking it out.
Get your tickets on ticketwest.com.
There we go.
Get your tickets for the alumni game on ticketwest.com.
Well, let's jump right into it.
Who's playing on that?
I'll have to email you the list. I think I might be the oldest guy out there.
I was wondering if there's an age cutoff or something.
No, hey, I'm right at it. Okay, talking trash too.
Oh man. All right, let's jump right into it. Yes, the Warriors won the championship. Yes, KD joined the team. We get that. But Draymond went as far as saying that LeBron actually started the quote-unquote super teams. I don't think it actually started with LeBron. I think he just reminded everybody of what could be when you join forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, which they end up winning 2 championships. But there's a history of players signing to certain teams, but not as crazy as it would look today. Maybe because social media wasn't as big as it was back in the day, or if it wasn't at all, because there wasn't Twitter, there wasn't all these social media websites breaking news, LeBron James making a decision. That crap didn't happen. Players just said, you know what? I want to win a championship. This is what I'm going to do. Dennis Rodman joined Chicago Bulls in '96.
Nah. See, now you sound like me. You sound like the old dude.
Oh, man.
Trying to blame everything on social media.
I wouldn't.
Right? It has nothing to do with social media. What it has to do with is these guys, back in the day, they didn't leave in the prime of their careers, call each other, recruit each other, and join forces on one team. Dennis Rodman joined the Chicago Bulls after not being wanted by the San Antonio Spurs, and his career was going downhill into a spiral at the time that he joined the Chicago Bulls. He got the Chicago Bulls. He got leadership from Michael Jordan. There wasn't a slew of teams lined up for Dennis Rodman.
True.
At the particular time. You know, we can point to the Lakers with Gary Payton and Karl Malone. Those guys were at the end of their career.
Yeah.
When they did it. Karl Malone did everything he could for Utah. And then when it was winding down, he tried to join forces with some other guys that were on the downslope of their career with 2 guys that were where they were, you know, like still in their prime, and Shaq and Kobe, to get a win, to get a championship. That's completely different than LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh saying, hey, let's meet in South Beach, and I'm taking my talents to South Beach or whatever. And then back in the day, free agency wasn't like that. You couldn't just choose, right? Guys got traded places, they got picked up places. But you can't blame Twitter and Facebook and social media for this one.
Wasn't going to blame him. I was just saying the coverage isn't as deep.
You can blame the king.
Well,
for this one.
What about that? What about Paul Pierce and Ray Allen?
Let them know, AJ.
With Kevin Garnett and
same,
Rondo.
I mean, same deal. It's the same
super
deal.
Team.
Huh? No.
I wouldn't say that Ray Allen was completely out there.
They added KG.
Yep.
Right. KG out of Minnesota, and it was a trade.
Sign and trade, I think, deal.
Yeah, sign and trade deal. Right. So it wasn't a free agent deal.
No.
And then they signed Ray Allen. Right. But they didn't say, yo, check this out. I'm free. You free. Let's go over here and do this.
What's to say they didn't, though?
Huh?
What's to say they did? Just because it's sign and trade doesn't mean that they didn't. Hey, I think we can make this happen. Don't close.
All right.
Oh, so
no, okay. I mean, what's to say they didn't? What's to say they did? We know that LeBron did.
Yes, absolutely.
We know that D. Wade, LeBron, and Chris Bosh got together and said, hey, let's go do this.
Yep.
And totally changed and tipped the scales of the NBA, of the Eastern Conference. And it's, hasn't been the same since. So, I mean, to say that they did or they didn't or whatever, we can, do some research. We can do the Watergate thing. We
speculate.
Do whatever. But at the end of the day, we don't have to speculate.
It's proven he did it.
When it comes to the Cleveland deal.
Okay, so then I guess the answer is you say LeBron James. Who do you think started the super team? Or has this always been
I don't
around?
even like the term super team.
Why not? I know you discussed it last week just because basically the Warriors built it.
So watch last week's show.
Well, touch on it again.
No, watch last week's show.
Basically, Donald was saying they built a roster. It wasn't like Steph Curry was playing with the Denver Nuggets, and they said, oh, he's balling, let's get this guy. It was more so they built a roster around him, and they're flourishing. Guys are getting better. You can't blame them for working hard and perfecting this thing called basketball, and then KD having a really tough time in Oklahoma City, not really having fun with the game, and then seeing these guys having fun, and then they say, hey, come join us. We can win a championship. And he's like, you know what? Why not? And you touched on that. That's what you touched on last week.
I'll take it a little further. And
okay.
When you look at the situation and you look at who the Golden State Warriors are and you look at the comparisons with teams for the past, I think the comparisons are pretty silly just from the standpoint that essentially all they're doing is playing early 90s, late 80s basketball, moving the ball. Everybody who steps on the court has a role on offense. Everybody has a role and responsibility on defense. They're helping each other. They're creating open shots for each other. They're doing things that used to be done. That was the standard in the late 80s, early 90s, in the heyday of basketball. If you watch the Lakers versus Celtics series and you see the things, that's just what they were doing. But here's the deal. Like I said last week, Steph had one scholarship offer. Klay Thompson went to Wazoo. Nobody goes to Wazoo if they have other options. Kid, he's a Wazoo alum. All right? Kid is a Wazoo alum. If you're big balling, you're not going to Wazoo. All right?
Hey, I was
Lars, my camera guy over here, he's Wazoo too. So I'm going to catch some heat here tonight. But we just going to put it out there like that. When LeBron was 18 years old, he was the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. When Steph was 18 years old, he was trying to find a college to give him a scholarship, and he only found one. Klay, same thing. He had like 2 offers. I don't know what the other one was if he picked Wazoo. Okay? So now, years later, these dudes are super team. And then Draymond Green, the little chubby cat, that's a second-round pick. Now, but those 3 guys are your core. Now they're a super team. Why? Well, first of all, Klay and Steph grew up in the NBA during the time period that we were talking about. So they have a mental approach and an approach to the game that's different. They have a work ethic. They have a willingness and a like, they want to share the ball. They want to play the game. You don't hear them talk about the king and the others and the big 3 and they talk about strength in numbers. They talk about, locking in. They talk about rallying up. They talk about the work that they do. They come in on off. I'm not saying LeBron doesn't do those things. I'm not saying Cleveland doesn't do those things. I'm not saying that Kyrie doesn't do those things, but they do it from a more individual standpoint. They do it from a different place. And so now they're a quote-unquote super team. No, they're just there's the San Antonio Spurs and the Golden State Warriors are keeping that 1990s, late 80s basketball alive. And that's why I think it's even silly to compare because they're playing the game the way it was played before. And they're smashing this current NBA with the throwback style and mentality. And now everybody, Cleveland, LeBron fired his general manager.
Breaking news,
when he
y'all.
was the general manager, right?
Breaking news, y'all.
Fired the general manager. They're talking about adding this piece, adding. It doesn't matter what pieces you add if you're not playing with the dude. Like Kevin Love, to me, is a great compliment if they play the right way to Kyrie and LeBron.
Yeah, but they're worried about the individual stuff.
Right. So you go add Paul George.
It doesn't work.
No, that's less of a fit than Kevin Love.
So that was AJ. Before we jump ahead, did you have anything to say on this super team stuff? What do you think?
I mean, just with respect to the super team, the name's kind of misleading. I think that there have been other super teams in the past, like the Celtics and the Lakers. Granted, they didn't do it the same way that LeBron did with the Heat, but I still feel as if there were super teams, and LeBron wasn't the first one to play on this great team that was dominating the league. Got it.
Good response to that. So, yes, LeBron did indeed fire his GM, and now they're talking about bringing in Mr. Big Shot, who Donald actually played against. If you listen to, I think it was our second episode, Donald breaks down that
how he broke me down.
I didn't want
Chauncey Billups.
I didn't want to
broke down how he broke me down.
I didn't want to do that. I was basically just trying to say, hey, D Watts had a little run-in with Chauncey back in the day.
Hey, for me, and now here's a Twitter era thing. Like if you get me, you got me.
Yeah, ask Jalen Rose. He got
if you
81.
Get me, you got me. Jamal Crawford, I've stood in front of him a couple times, and he cooked me. Right, I beat him, but he's cooked me.
Yep.
Right, and that's just
it is what it is.
Like it is what it is. Right, you're not ashamed of that. You're a freshman. You're guarding Chauncey Billups in the corner. He's a 4-time Colorado State Player of the Year. You've heard about him. Now you get to stand in front of him. He's bigger than you, stronger than you.
Show me what you got, big
fella.
fella.
Man,
let's go.
He shook me up. There's no kids now. They're too prideful to say that or whatever. Like, nah, He shook me up. I went back home. I went to work for 12 months and tried him again.
There we go.
And he got me again.
But you never gave up. You kept trying.
I kept getting better. Kept getting better from that battle. Like I was looking forward to seeing the dude again, right? And he was kind of, for us out here on the West Coast, he was kind of the measuring stick.
Yeah.
4-time State Player of the Year as a freshman. He was a big boy. He was good, man.
Yeah.
So, but you really think? Well, I don't. If him and LeBron are cool, he got the job.
That's the thing. I don't know. I've never heard history of them being cool, quote unquote. It's always LeBron is this, Chauncey's that. We got him out, as in LeBron beat him in the 2007 Eastern Conference Finals. I haven't heard anything about, there's a possibility that Chauncey will take over as general manager. I don't even know if he's capable of running that.
LeBron said he didn't fire him, right?
No.
LeBron said he wanted him back.
LeBron said he got he
But do you think he's on the hiring committee?
Oh, LeBron is the man. LeBron. I mean, we Donald. We know AJ Donald. We know what LeBron does behind closed doors.
Hey.
He gets players on the team. He fires people. It's happened. David Blatt. He got to go. Tyronn Lue. Come on, let's get it. That's what LeBron does. But Chauncey Billups is I don't know. I'm just gonna say I don't know.
All we have to do is see what the relationship is between the two.
And that's what I really don't know.
Yeah, and how could we? But if LeBron wants him, he'll be there.
True that.
He's the king.
Stop. He is. I don't know what you want me to say. I'm just gonna smile.
He's
How about
the
that?
King. Like the people. I say, the coaching. You got to get a coach. Okay.
Well, take a seat, LeBron.
Who's gonna let Is LeBron coachable? I don't know. How coachable is he?
It's a great question.
How coachable?
Coach Popovich, are you available? Can we get you?
How coachable is he? Who's he gonna listen to?
Coach Popovich. I don't even know if Eric.
Who does the king listen to?
Okay, you want to put it in that phrase? No one. He's the king. Okay, I get it. Dang. Right. See how he does it? Who's the king listen to? Yes.
He's the king.
All right. The kings have kings. Okay.
Look at the power. Like the power he has.
Yeah.
Like when he left Cleveland, not the team,
the city.
The city. So when he comes back to Cleveland,
everything goes up.
And if he says, "Yo, man, I don't like the moves this dude made," he doesn't have to say fire him.
He just says those words.
Hey, man, who they got me out here with? Oh man,
I don't like that.
I'll handle this. Right? He's a free agent.
Hey.
So, hey.
Speaking of handling things.
He didn't have to fire him. He didn't have to say the words. Hey, man, I don't, man, what do you got me out here playing with? Hey, King, sorry. We'll figure it out.
This is why Watts might have to go part-time comedy. I'm serious about this. Hey. I think you guys would enjoy Donald's stand-up, in my opinion. And then he denies it. No worries. But
who's also real, baby, the real spill.
That is true. That's why we gave you the title, The Real Spill, giving you facts, entertainment, and knowledge. Come on now. Where else can you get it? It is true, though. Boston Celtics will trade up their top pick to the 76ers. So we know what's going to happen.
Wait. You just switched from one topic to another?
Yeah.
Without a small commercial break?
Pause. Let me get that commercial break.
Hey, did I say he was on probation?
You see how you see this? Man, I was going to wait till.
Hold on. Let me dial the sponsor.
I was going to wait till half the show.
He's in the room.
Mr. Watts.
First of all, before I go on to our next topic, this show is brought to you by what, Donald?
WattsBasketball.com.
WattsBasketball.com, baby.
Game changers for life.
Game changers for life. Again, we have a young man in the studio who is an example of a game changer, and he has made amazing strides and will continue to make those strides. Go ahead and speak on the mic, AJ.
We get to the league, baby.
Yeah, I just heard it was www.wattsbasketball.
So we know not to say that no more.
No more.
See, we got a bunch of slick Watts clones in here. Nah, we get to the league, right? The Ivy League, baby. The Ivy League.
We're out of the league
always repping.
Yeah, Yale University. Congratulations again on graduating. That's a huge step, man.
Thank you.
To the best. Hang on, what'd you study? We didn't even ask you that.
I went and visited them.
Uh-oh. Go ahead, D.
I went out there and visited. We went out there and hung out, man. And I got on campus and I was like, ooh, I don't think I'm supposed to be here. I'm a college graduate, and it just looked smart.
Wow.
Seriously, it looks crazy. Like, you just like, man, you don't have to see no students just to build it. It's crazy. It's like, and I did that, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
2 years ago? Yeah. 38 years. I've been a lot of places in the world, man.
Yale University, though, Donald was like.
I was like, ooh, I left my tie at home.
Biggest question, Donald. Did you use sir at all?
Huh?
Did you use sir? Like, yes, sir. How you doing, sir? I'm Donald. Or
Nah, I don't think so.
Okay.
What's up, coach?
Yep.
How we doing? I didn't get my Chris Kidd on.
I did not want you to say that, but I knew.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
I knew.
Mr. Shockey, sir.
Yeah, Kevin. Sorry about that. I've changed the game. I haven't used sir since then. Thank you for that. I don't even know what to call that. A lecture?
Yes, a lecture. Nah. Oh. Nah, but it was cool.
That's what's up.
All right, the commercial break went a little long.
Oh, sorry about that. Again, Boston Celtics giving up their first pick. 76ers now have it. Markelle Fultz, we know, well, I think we all agree that he's going number 1. What are the Boston Celtics trying to do here, Donald? What do you see? I mean, Josh Jackson, great forward, but is he ready to take the Boston Celtics to the next level, or are they looking to trade a piece? What do you think is going on with that?
I think what Boston traded down.
Yep.
Boston has their point guard.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas. Sold. Got that.
They're within a window. You're not starting over with a rookie point guard, plugging them in.
It's not going to work.
I mean, they have their point guard. And they're not just their point guard. They have their emotional leader. He's a very unique guy. The toughness, and their team has embodied, we talked about this before, the Isaiah Thomas spirit. So you have a first pick in the draft. You have an opportunity to pick, one of the top, point guards and that just doesn't fit that situation. That doesn't maximize value. They also were the Eastern Conference champions. So it's not like, they're looking at, okay, how do we get 3 wins better? Like, how do we get 3 wins better? By duplicating a position that we already have, or by getting a piece in another place that can actually take us to the next step and not take a step backwards. But not only did they get the piece, they'll get the piece in this draft, Josh Jackson. Then they get I think it's a 3, 4, or 5.
Yeah.
In next year's draft.
So they're setting it up.
From Philly. And if it's not a 3, 4, or 5 from Philly, then it turns into a Minnesota draft pick. So they're going to be picking in the lottery or right outside the lottery for the next 2. They're in the lottery again this year and in the lottery next year, which gives them young pieces to build around an already really strong core. So, I mean, it's yet to be seen. Obviously, we have to look at it a couple years from right now. But I think that in the early indication is that Danny Ainge is a genius.
Mike touched on that when he came in.
For pulling this. I mean, the only thing that could happen in this scenario is if Josh Jackson or whoever they're eyeing gets picked by the Lakers, and then now Ball is there or whatever, right? So that's the assumption is that they're not going point guard.
Yeah,
that's the assumption. And now at the end of the day, there's a dude that I love.
Go ahead and say his name.
DeAaron Fox.
That's that jumper though. D, you need to get with him, man.
I got you.
Okay.
Hey, I got you.
Get that jumper right,
shooting
man.
Just as good as anybody in the world. I'm confident in that.
Because he's good.
Oh man, if you put a jumper on that,
lights out.
Oh,
because his ability,
his explosiveness.
Oh my goodness.
He plays slow, plays with tempo. He plays with his team. Right, like and then he just explodes to the rim, explodes to the basket. I love his feel for the game. You put a jumper on him, he's gonna be a phenomenal point guard in the NBA.
You heard it here.
And he seems like the kind of guy that's willing to work on. And I say that, but I don't know him from nothing. But he seems like the kind of guy that really loves the game and is willing to work on his jumper. So
I know I don't want to take too much time, but do you think Phoenix is the right fit? Because personally, I'm kind of looking at Phoenix like.
See, here's one of these deals.
Mm-hmm.
You said Phoenix and fit.
Well,
I mean, what is Phoenix?
A bunch of the youngest team in the NBA right now.
The right fit for what? What are they going to do? They have no significance.
So the question is no. The answer is no. It's going to be a
Phoenix right now is like they get the young talented players.
It's an AAU team. Bunch of
and
young guys.
There are certain teams in the league that they're just Sacramento. Like you collecting a check. You're gonna win. The best thing for a player to do is get out of there. Right? When you have all young guys, all young, and Philly is kind of trying to make an upswing or whatever, but they got all young dudes. Who's teaching these dudes how to be pros?
That's the problem.
Yeah. So then it's just like you get to the league, you play out your first contract. Either they sign you for some big money and you keep losing, or you move somewhere else and get around some veterans and learn how to play the game.
And that's what I'm hoping DeAaron Fox does not.
So like that right fit thing is like asking me, does Conor McGregor want it before
here he
Mayweather? Yeah, he wants it. Like
You want that bread.
yeah, he gonna get that money.
I ain't mad
So
at you.
Phoenix, like all Phoenix, is just an NBA contract.
Get the money.
Yeah, I mean the Gonzaga Bulldogs were older than
Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix Suns.
It's a fact.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
come on.
AJ?
So who's that supposed to be the right fit for it? You gonna get paid. You gonna get some sunshine.
There's no fit,
You get
man.
a suntan.
It's just
chill
I
out.
just don't want to see that with him because, like you said, he get a jumper down and he's with the right unit. This could be something big for this young man. He could end up being he could be something. I know he's number 4 overall going right now, looks like, but the ceiling this kid has, and to go to a team like that, like you literally said, there's no veteran there. So what is he gonna do? Get a check every year and hope that he gets traded? And that sucks. I mean, what can you do? What do you do as a young man? If you know him, Donald, and you know going and he's going to Phoenix, what are you telling this young man? Like, hey, look, it's gonna get ugly for your first few years. You're gonna be
Have fun. Have fun. Just have fun.
That's what you okay.
Like a check and try to make that a springboard for your career
Okay.
by being disciplined, by being structured, by getting your work in, by improving your game as much as you can. But don't worry about winning and losing. Because you're not going to win significant enough to make an impact on anything.
As facts.
No, I mean, yeah, sorry. And, my boy Earl Watson played against him. He's a coach, and I think he's a terrific coach. But, you got a young coach. You got young players.
Who's the leader? Who's going to say something when the coach is wrong?
Come on, man.
It's just AJ, do you have anything to add to that, my brother?
Yeah, I would just say it's definitely not. It's most likely not going to be his last stop. So all he needs to really do is just focus on putting in his work, collecting his paycheck, and having fun.
Yeah, I mean, so look, you was a 2-year deal, 3-year deal?
We'll say that 2-year deal.
I mean, that's what the rookie contracts now, 2
Yep.
3-year deal. He would be at Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
not getting paid as much. Sorry about that, y'all.
He dropped a little gem there. In case y'all didn't catch it, rewind that back.
He would be in Kentucky, not getting paid as much, right?
You heard that?
He's going to have his college
Not nearly as
experience with his dudes,
Yeah.
quite a few of them from the same program. So it's like, hey, that's the Kentucky NBA, in Phoenix. You get paid, work on your game, and make a little money, have some fun, live the NBA lifestyle.
Ain't nothing wrong
But
with
hopefully, there is something wrong with it if you can't manage it as a young person. Like just getting money is not the objective. And I think a lot of people, want to get the money as fast as you can or whatever. The NBA, I come from that lifestyle, like the NBA life. It's not like, it's not for the faint of heart. Like that lifestyle, the professional athlete lifestyle, the responsibility, managing the money, managing the people who want your money. When you don't, a lot of people that are doing it, you just play. You don't know nothing about money. You don't know nothing about business. You don't know, but now all of a sudden everybody is at your money, at your body physically. Like that's a lot to manage for a young person. So it has to be more than just get money, right? Like, and that's what going to a place like Phoenix has the potential to be disastrous because they're all in the same boat and there's nobody there to show them. And the coach can't really do it because he's giving you playing time or not giving you playing time. Like none of us like our coaches, right? Like, so, he can't really be your mentor and your coach or whatever. That's a very difficult responsibility. So who's going to be in this young man's life to help show him the way? And the best scenario is when you have upperclassmen not upperclassmen.
Donald, are you available? Hey, DeAaron. Hey, we got this man. Donald Watts is a game changer for life. I think you should hit him up, man. He might be able to help you out.
It's when you have veterans to be a part of that, But ain't no veterans going there unless they're just going for the money.
It's a good retirement state.
Huh? Yeah. Their taxes.
LeBron, if you're thinking about retiring, you no.
Come on, man.
I actually heard he's building a house over in Aspen right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, LeBron.
Oh, there we go. Oh, see, he knows that kind of stuff.
Hey, my man AJ.
He's
right
tunneling.
next to Warren Buffett.
Hey.
He's tunneling. I didn't even know he skied, but
I would be willing to bet he doesn't.
It is AAU season, as they call it. Donald, is little man playing in AAU this year?
My daughter just started playing. She played in her first AAU tournament.
Okay.
My son is playing for an AAU team, a local AAU team.
Got it.
We're not that serious about the AAU in our family. We had a conversation. My kids will be 13 coming up. It was Father's Day yesterday. So we had a conversation about what their goals and their objectives are. I explained to them that you guys are 5 years from picking a college. You guys are 5 years from graduating from high school. You're 4.5 years from picking a college, away from picking a college. So if you want to be a college basketball player, you like playing around, then now is the time to start thinking about your work, right? How many shots are you going to, like, you want to get buckets? How many makes are you going to make every week between now and high school tryouts, right? Because now we're starting, like, what are you going to be when you show up for high school tryouts? He told me his goals. It's 2,100 shots a week, to make, right? And you make that your habit. You cross it off every time. For me, that's the priority. Okay. Not sitting in. It's hard to do that if you're sitting in gyms, watching other kids play, waiting for your turn to play, stuff like that. So we take a little slower road, right? Do you have the discipline, and can you establish the work ethic to continue? And I'm looking at my guy right here. He's a mentor for him, to get your work in first. Right, and then when you have a reputation in your community, and you're the top dog in your neighborhood, and you shoot the ball so much that you can't miss, now let's go play anywhere, because you got the tools. Now let's go challenge other people. Now let's go get challenged. Let's go find somebody who can block your shot so you can be creative and figure out how to still get that shot off and miss against people who are bigger and taller. So that's our approach, our personal family approach to the AAU season. We do it, but we're not that serious about it right now. I want him and my daughter, when they're 16 and 17 years old, and they're at a showcase, and I want them excited and enthusiastic about being there. When they see a college coach, I want them to just
have fun.
Yeah, I want them to be like, oh, right. I don't want them to be wily veterans who've been doing this for 10 years, and they're like, we got another game.
Got another coach here.
Yeah, like, nah, that's not, when they get to college, I want them to have a fresh perspective on the game. I want them to have developed their bodies, developed physically, developed their minds, right, and love working on their game. And we don't have to be the top player in the country when we're 17 or 18 years old, right? We just want an opportunity to earn a right to get an education, play in the sport. That's their goal. So my job as a parent is to do the best that I know how to put them in a position to do that. And for me, we get your reps up.
There we go. And AJ, I know you played AAU ball, because guess what we did when we worked with Watts? We got to play AAU ball. So
way back.
What, man? We are getting old, man.
Hey, how y'all getting old and I'm getting young?
It's all good.
10 years ago at least.
What's that?
10 years ago at least.
I'm getting young.
So my question to you is, AJ, where do you draw the line as someone that played it? I mean, maybe I don't know how many games. I can't remember the games we played, but I remember going to tournament and having 4 games in a night, and we thought it was probably natural. That's how it's supposed to be. But now you get older and you see kids getting injured more often. It's because their bodies can't take it. Where do you draw the line, AJ, in AAU basketball, on what's too much and what's not enough, things of that nature? What's too much, man?
In my opinion, when you're losing sight of the work ethic and the work, as Watt said, that goes into becoming a great basketball player, that's when it's too much. And I feel like in today's day and age, all these kids are putting way too much emphasis on AAU and on which teams they're making. Even when I was in high school, talking with Watts, I certainly did think it was a huge determining factor, and he had to calm me down and say, look, like, even if you're not making the top team or playing in this showcase or that showcase, like, as long as you're getting the work in each and every day, working on the things you need to work on, the coaches will find you and you'll have your opportunities. So I'd say it starts to become a problem when kids aren't necessarily focused on getting better each and every day, and instead are just kind of try to play for the best team and do what sounds the best. Yeah.
That's a great answer right there, AJ. Good.
Yeah, he was listening, man.
What do you
listening?
Hey, Donald, game changes for life right there.
No, I remember telling them, multiple times, you guys are going to have to check out the other show as we get in depth in this. But multiple times, man, I don't care if the AAU team doesn't value your skill set. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that you spend time on a daily basis developing a skill set that a college coach values. And I showed him what that was. And then what he did, if I said, hey, I need 400 makes, he was, coach, I got 800. Right? And that's why I knew, and I told him, and, we're going to talk about it on the next show. We had family. We had all kind of stuff going on. But as long as he was going to that gym and doing the specific work that I asked him to do, I don't think there was anybody in the world but me and him, me, that believed he was going to get the opportunity that he got. right? But I knew that if I knew his character as a person, I knew his work ethic as a person, and where, I get upset is when you have a person like that, and the people around them on the AAU teams or the programs, they don't tell them the information that they need to have in order to make their dreams come true. They just say, do this, and they don't give them any direction. So we're going to talk about that on the college prep academy coming up next. But so we won't get too far into that. But at the end of the day, AAU season is coming. It's not all bad. It's a great opportunity for people, if they have the tools, to go get showcased, to get in front of, if they're in the right tournaments, right, to go get seen by college coaches. College coaches are definitely in the stands. They're definitely scouring the country for players, point guards that can run teams, shooting guards that can shoot, post players that can score in the post and stretch the floor. They're looking for things like that. But if you can do those things, then it's a very, very valuable opportunity. It's a very valuable experience. I was blessed by being able to play AAU and be nationally ranked and nationally recruited. But it was only because, first things first, I got my skills right. And that's the same thing that I advise anybody to do. And as we get into this AAU season, July, the live evaluation period, there's no better time than right now to get with the sponsor of the show, wattsbasketball.com.
Hey.
Get your college basketball evaluation. Let us look at your skill sets and help you understand specifically what you need to be working on so you can translate your tools and your skills to an opportunity for higher education.
Well, you heard that. I ain't got to
Watts Basketball, www.wattsbasketball.com. Watts B-Ball on Twitter, Instagram, all of that stuff.
I ain't going to call you out on that.
Sorry, no, it's all good. I'm messing with y'all. There we go. Sorry about to go there with the show, but I'm passionate about that.
No, and
we're on to the next one.
We want to emphasize that we're not saying AAU is bad, and Donald touched on that. We're not. We're just saying keep in mind of the goal you have in hand. Don't forget.
Step-by-step process.
Bingo. That's it.
And the AAU doesn't allow you to skip a bunch of steps.
That's it. That's all we're saying. So don't think of it as, they're bashing AAU. That is not the case, all right? Before we get on out of here, NFL season is coming. It's coming up. They just finished mini camp. Training camp starts in August, and next thing you know, we'll have our first NFL game. I'm excited. I know Donald's a little excited. Are you excited, Donald?
Oh, man, I love football.
Did you play?
I love the game. Nah, man, I didn't play. My dad would trick me out of trying out every year, man.
He did a good job. He saved you maybe, right?
Yeah, he would, and it was funny, too, because the dudes at the school used to talk trash. Oh, we'll do this, we'll do that,
Oh, Donald was like, yes. Give me the ball, man.
I'm 6'5", 200. I'm wide out. Like, that was what the DNs were weighing. Like, come on.
Okay, let me ask you this, D.
What you gonna do with me? Come on. But anyway, I would say, Pops, I'm going to go out for football. He's like, okay. I'll tell him a couple months ahead of time. And then the night before tryouts, I'd be like, football starts tomorrow. Hey, let's talk. Let's have a talk.
Oh, dang. He hit you with, let's have a talk.
Let's have a talk.
Guilt trip, too.
Yeah. And he wouldn't give me time to be like, forget that. The next time I'll be like, man, you got a future in basketball. You need to really think about that. And then I just wouldn't go out.
Now, I know you're busy on Saturdays because you're working with the community,
mm-hmm.
doing the camps and developing these youth and older gentlemen and women. What about getting you out there for some flag football?
Oh, man, I'm a beast.
Okay.
You hear how the bass went? I'm a beast.
Hey, I think we might have.
Who's quarterbacking?
I got some guys, but I'm I know you have to check to see what the quarterback is. I get that. I'm not gonna just call you. Look at D Watts. People are like, he played at UW. Yeah, he can.
You see those hands?
He's gonna get in for about 3
reps.
Those
are paws.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes a sound.
I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Gets close.
Because Franklin, they have the tournament at Franklin. I'm thinking we might have to bring Watts out there to show everybody I'm not just a hooper. I can get it on the football field too.
I'm good for 4 or 5 touchdowns if the quarterback know what he's doing.
You're playing the whole game?
Huh?
Why you say it like that, AJ?
Game? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I'm not coming out.
All right.
Defense too, right?
I'm a franchise player.
We can put you at safety too.
Come on, baby.
Safety as well. Is that cool?
Huh?
Safety.
Man, put me where you want me.
Okay, you know what? I think we found.
I got a lot of range.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
But speaking of the NFL and touching on a little bit of flag, Odell Beckham has come out. This is the best I've felt ever. Now, personally, it could be smoke. But then again, you look at what he's done over the past, his His first few years in the league, 288 catches, over 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns. I'm excited. Is this something that we should be looking to say, maybe this is an MVP season, or let's see what happens? Like,
So this is what I'm going to say. Odell Beckham is an athlete that's too much in his feelings. So, yeah, he's just the best he felt ever. It's the off season. He's done his little workouts or whatever. But Odell Beckham's feelings change fast. And he's too much in them. And at the end of the day, when somebody, comes at him, he has a reputation for being emotionally unstable. And when you play in a league, and you in a professional league, and you have a reputation for being emotionally unstable, and you have to play against another defense 17 times in a season, every single one of them are going to be trying to push those buttons. So what I have to say to that is his limitations have never been physical, if that's what he's talking about as far as how he feels. How is he going to deal with and handle his emotions? Now, we can talk about numbers, which he has, right? But those numbers at the critical times, in the critical situations, can you hold your head and get your team over the top is the question, right? So, it's just a constant theme on this show, numbers versus impact. The numbers are great, right? But when it's really, cats are really coming at you, and they're really, they get under your skin a little bit, now what are you doing?
He didn't show up in the playoffs.
Are you crumbling or are you stepping up? And right now he has the reputation to crumble. So while he's saying he feels good, there's going to be a lot of cornerbacks, safeties, linebackers that are going to be, we're going to see how you feel once I trip you. We're going to see how you feel once I hold you. We're going to see how you feel once I talk trash about your mama, right? So it's a great time of the year to feel good.
I like that. That was good, D. That's what I'm talking. The what? The real spill. There we go.
There we go.
AJ.
Yeah.
What you think about it, man?
And you're going to be out there in New York with him, huh? That might be your homeboy out there. Uh-oh, I better ease off.
No, the only thing I would say is I believe they just signed Brandon Marshall too.
Brandon Marshall will be a New York Giant. We'll see how those two work out.
Brandon has his own emotional issues earlier in his career.
Yeah, I ain't gonna bring that up. That's the whole podcast. But my bad, AJ. Go ahead, man.
What, Eli is a mess too.
Yeah, we don't know what to expect.
Just with them signing him too, I think Beckham's still going to be great. I don't really know if he's going to surpass his last season or season's numbers. But yeah, in terms of MVP type season, I don't see how he's gonna surpass those numbers with Brandon Marshall on the team as well. But.
Hey, that's a good point. And Donald brought up Brandon Marshall's history, and this could be a very interesting situation come this fall. And
I would say they do not have the most emotionally stable wide receiving core that's ever been in the history of the NBA. The NFL.
That's facts right
there.
They're
not going into the season with the most headstrong group we've ever seen.
There you hear it. There you have it, folks. Well, that has been another episode of The Real Spill. We want to thank you guys for listening. We appreciate the love and support. And before we get out of here, AJ, is there anything else you want to add?
That's it.
I want to add a congratulations to my man over here, graduating from Yale University.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it on the next show. So check out the College Prospects Academy.
There we go.
It's always a pleasure for me to be here, right, with two young men who I had a impact on their lives coming up and have had a dynamic impact on my life. Father's Day was yesterday, and over Father's Day, you think about all the people who have impacted you and who you've impacted. And man, it's a pleasure to be here with you guys, man, to see what fine young men you guys have grown to be. I feel bad saying that because I still look young and fresh and as good as you guys. So people are going to be kind of like, what? like, what's up? Nah, but I just look like this. Nah, I'm just kidding, y'all. Hey,
Beyonce.
Donald Watts basketball, at Watts B-Ball on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle, man?
Dream Chaser 206, although I don't think that thing's been active in years.
Oh, okay.
Well, you might need to get active, man.
Yeah.
It ain't too late.
Yeah.
And me.
I'm more of an Instagram guy,
Oh, well, what's your Instagram? Give him that. That's
AJ
fine.
Edwards 24.
All right. And you know me. I changed mine for the greater good. My man D. Watts was
We can
giving me.
stop talking about that, man.
No. I'm going to bring it up every
You still
time.
gonna talk about that old Twitter handle,
I'm going to bring it
bro?
up every time.
Oh,
My new Twitter handle.
There might not be too many more times, brother. I told you that at the beginning of the show.
My time is ticking. It's coming up. I might not be here next week, but again, you can follow your boy, Christopher Kidd, at CKid206, representing the Real Six. Yeah, I said it, Donald. What's happening? This has been the Real Spill Podcast. We want to thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate the love and support. Stay tuned. Bigger things will be coming. We will catch you guys next Monday. We are out.
Ow.
Out.
Ow.
Out.
Ow.
Mic check 1 2. What is this? The 5-foot assassin with the roughness business. Oh, my gravity. I never had a cavity. I got more rhymes than the Adams family.